They don't speak, they don't move, they don't scream when cut or cry when burned. And yet, they're alive, not just alive aware. For centuries, we've looked at plants as silent background characters in the story of Earth, static, simple, emotionless. We walk past them, eat them, build with them, even destroy them, rarely ever stopping to ask what they truly are. But what if we've been wrong? What if, beneath every forest, every blade of grass, and every leaf reaching for the sun, there's a hidden world communicating, reacting, even making decisions? This is the secret life of plants, the hidden network beneath the soil, beneath the forest floor. There's something extraordinary, a living network so vast it's been called the Wood Wide Web. Fungi, those ancient organisms we rarely see, connect trees and plants through microscopic threads called mycorrhizae. Through these threads, plants send not just nutrients but information. When one tree is attacked by insects, it releases chemical warnings through its leaves, but it doesn't stop there. Through its roots, it signals its neighbors, danger is coming, and in response, the other trees begin producing defensive toxins before the insects even arrive. This isn't instinct, it's communication, it's awareness. Suzanne Simard, an ecologist from the University of British Columbia, proved that forests are not collections of individual trees, they are families. In her research, she discovered that older mother trees use this fungal network to nourish younger saplings, sending carbon, nitrogen, and water directly through underground connections. If a tree is dying, it can release its remaining nutrients to others, a final act of giving, ensuring that life continues through its skin. What looks like stillness from above is in truth a silent society, trading, warning, caring. Plants can hear, smell, and remember. It sounds impossible, doesn't it? But plants have senses not like ours, but perhaps even more refined. When researchers played the sound of a buzzing bee near certain flowers, something fascinating happened. Within minutes, the flowers increased their nectar production. They recognized the frequency of the bee. They heard. Other experiments show roots growing toward the sound of running water even when it's hidden behind a barrier. They can sense vibration, direction, and life, and smell. Plants detect airborne chemicals to warn each other. When one is damaged by caterpillars, it releases distress compounds into the air. Nearby plants sense it and begin producing chemicals to make their leaves taste bitter, driving away the attackers. But here's what's truly mysterious. Plants remember. In 2014, scientists performed an experiment using a Mimosa pudica plant known to fold its leaves when touched. After repeated drops that caused no harm, the plant stopped folding. It learned that the stimulus wasn't dangerous. Even after 28 days, nearly a lifetime for some plants, it still remembered the experience. It didn't have a brain, no neurons, no consciousness as we define it. And yet, it learned the conscious forest. So what is this awareness? Is it intelligence? Consciousness? Or something entirely different, a form of life awareness that exists beyond our comprehension? In a forest, trees of different species cooperate instead of compete. Birch and fir trees, for example, exchange carbon seasonally. In summer, birch trees share their excess sugar with shaded firs. In winter, when birches lose their leaves, the firs return the favor. This isn't random, it's a system of mutual support, an ecosystem with intention. If one tree falls, the network reroutes resources to stabilize the forest's balance. It almost feels coordinated. And when humans cut down massive numbers of trees, we're not just removing wood. We're severing communication lines. We're cutting through an ancient neural network of the planet itself. Some scientists now believe that the Earth's biosphere acts like a single, self-regulating organism, a theory known as the Gaia hypothesis. If that's true, then forests are its nervous system, sensing, reacting, and adapting. To maintain balance, every tree is a neuron, every forest a thought. The mind without a brain. The idea of plant intelligence challenges everything we think we know about consciousness. We define intelligence by brains, by neurons, by thought, but what if life doesn't need any of those to think? Plants make decisions every day. Roots explore soil like an army of curious scouts, moving toward nutrients, avoiding toxins, even competing with other roots for territory. When researchers placed two obstacles in front of a growing root, it chose the optimal path toward food as if calculating its next move. It's slow, yes, but intelligence doesn't always need speed. Sometimes wisdom lives in stillness. Some plants even use complex timing systems, blooming only when conditions are perfect, counting the hours of light, adjusting their internal clocks to the rhythms of the earth. It's as if nature itself is aware of time, the emotions of the green world. In the 1960s, a scientist named Cleve Baxter, famous for his work with lie detectors, decided to connect a polygraph machine to a plant leaf. To his shock, when he merely thought about burning the leaf, the plant registered a response spike on the polygraph. He repeated it again and again. The reaction seemed consistent, as if the plant sensed intention. Though controversial and not fully proven, Baxter's experiments inspired decades of research into plant sensitivity. Could it be that plants feel in a way beyond our measurement? Modern science remains skeptical, but the idea refuses to die because every gardener, every farmer, every person who has ever cared for a plant knows that they respond. They thrive when spoken to, when cared for, when loved, not by magic but by connection. The language of the green kingdom. Imagine this: a forest breathing in rhythm, every leaf a sensor, every root a messenger. When lightning strikes miles away, the shockwaves alter electrical potentials in the soil and plants react instantly. They sense temperature changes, gravity, pressure, moisture, and adjust their behavior accordingly. Plants live in a symphony of signals, chemical, electrical, mechanical, communicating in ways we're only beginning to understand. Scientists have recorded electrical pulses traveling between roots, similar to neural activity in animals. It's slow, sometimes one signal every few seconds, but the pattern resembles thought. If trees think, they think in centuries. Humanity's forgotten connection. There was a time when humans listened. Ancient cultures treated trees as sacred beings. The Druids of Europe worshipped oaks as living gateways to the divine. In Japan, Shinto tradition honors the spirits of trees, called kodama. Even the Bible begins in a garden, the tree of life standing at its center. Somewhere along the line we forgot. We built walls between ourselves and the green world that sustains us. We traded connection for control. But science is slowly bringing us back, not through myth but through truth. Because the more we learn about plants, the more we realize how little we truly understand life. The pulse of the planet. Here's a thought that should humble you. More than 80% of Earth's biomass, living material, is plant life. They are the architects of the atmosphere, the reason we breathe, the foundation of every food chain. And yet we still treat them as background. But plants don't just exist on Earth. They are the earth. Every breath you take is a gift from leaves you'll never meet. Every step you take rests on roots holding the planet together. When we destroy forests, we aren't just cutting down trees. We're silencing an entire civilization. The final thought: the secret life of plants isn't just about biology, it's about humility. It reminds us that intelligence doesn't always look human. That communication isn't always sound, that life speaks in more languages than we can hear. So next time you walk through a forest, stop for a moment. Listen. The trees are whispering through air, through soil, through time. You just have to learn to hear them, because the world isn't silent, it's singing, and it has been since the very first leaf reached for the sun.